What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. Kaori Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. We are on issue 2 of I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer. Let me tell you, Rennie is fucking hilarious at this point. I absolutely love this character, her story, everything. So, she has killed the security guard. That's what happened in issue 1. She was going to kill this girl who was making fun of her friend Sophie. She, like I said in the first video, she has like that physical urge to kill, and it makes her itch. Like, itching to kill someone physically is absolutely fucking insane. So, when she does go to kill the girl is being harassed by the security guard, and she can't stand for that. She does not like that at all. So she puts off killing the girl and she kills the security guard. Okay? Okay. She has now bathed, she skinned the security guard, drained him of his blood, and bathed in it. And at this point, she is on her couch, wrapped up in a robe, reading fashion magazines, and she has also created an outfit. So we see her tools for like her fashion things are out, and she has created an outfit. Okay, so she's like, oh, Sophie's going to love this. And then we see her flipping through magazines, and she says, I know it's a little odd, but you know, bathing in the blood and getting my self-care in and sitting on my couch reading magazines, fashion magazines, heaven, love it so much. And she just talks about how Sophie probably would buy literally every skirt out of Elle and just all kinds of things like that. So she is relaxing. Now, when they get to class the next day, I do believe they are taking a moment of silence, but because people have left the class, not because they found out that the security officer is dead. I don't know. However, she has this absolutely beautiful outfit that she put together, and her teacher is just like, wow, like, is that a security's badge in there? And are the buttons made out of bullets? Like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely excellent work. And she, you know, is talking about how amazing it is and tells her to keep evolving and keep getting better and things like that, keep pushing yourself. And Sophie comes up to her and does say that her skin has improved. She can't see like her scratch marks or anything like that. And so they kind of just, her and her other friends kind of just start asking her about like, you know, what is your secret? And she's like, I just need to, you know, do my treatments on time and properly, and I'll be fine. Treatment being the blood of other people, right? So Bodhi comes over, and all of them have gotten very, very close at this time. Bodhi comes over and says that he scored a bunch of movie tickets, and, you know, the girls were already going, and he asked if Rennie wants to go with. And she's like, you know, I got homework and our midterm project and just all kinds of stuff. She's basically making an excuse kind of not to go. But Rennie's just like, it's a horror movie. Unless you really don't like horror movies. She's like, I think it's going to be great. And she's kind of iffy about it. So, you know, they leave, and she kind of just has that question mark in the air of, does she really want to go to this? So while she's at home, she's still very much thinking. She has the movie ticket sitting on her sink next to her hairpins that she made out of bone. And she's shifting over between. She says that Sophie and the gang are different from her, but not just her, they're just different from any friends that she's ever had, but they are especially different from her. So it's kind of like this hard balance that she's trying to go through in order to like really be friends with them. But one thing that keeps sticking with her is the voice of her professor telling her to keep evolving and keep pushing herself. So she then decides to go ahead and go to the movies. Everybody's standing outside the movie's getting ready to start. They don't think that she's coming, and she is standing directly behind Sophie, and she's like, do you think standing like that is good for you? And of course, Sophie is incredibly excited to see her. They go into the movie, and they're just really excited. The next day at school, though, she's back to her itching. And they're kind of talking about the movie and what happened with the movie and everything like that. And the teacher wants them to take another moment of silence, I'm assuming because somebody left the class again. And so she starts itching again, and it's getting a little bit out of control. So Sophie's supposed to come over that next day or later that day. And she's in her room and she has the skinned dead body of the security guard, just kind of hanging out of her closet. And she kicks him back into the closet when her doorbell rings. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're here early. And it looks as if Sophie has just been attacked, which she has. Her sweater is ripped. She's crying. She's like, what happened? She had a large order that she was delivering to some guys. They tried to pull her into the house. They tried to assault her. She ripped away from them and she just ran. And I feel so bad for her, because that's like, a DoorDasher or something like that. That's a real risk, especially for women who are doing it by themselves. So of course this does not stand with Rennie. She's not having it. Okay. And so she's like, let me see your phone. And, she's kind of just, Sophie's going on this rant of how sorry she is. And she's like, you know what? You are my friend. And I'm admitting it to you right now. You are my friend. I care about you a lot. And I felt the need to have to change myself. And she's like, I wouldn't change a single thing about you. I think you're perfect the way you are. Yeah. So, they're having their little heart to heart right there. And she's like, gonna go get cleaned up. She's like, all right, cool. Phone. So she is Rennie her phone, and she's gonna go clean up her face because her makeup is running. Rennie goes through and is finding the address of where she just was. She finds the address, and we see it looks like there's probably 3 or 4 of them. I'm pretty sure it's 3, and they're just going back into their house, and they look like a few frat boys, really. So I love this. One of them, he goes in, he's standing with his back turned, and he's trying to eat his bag of chips, but his bag of chips is empty. And he's like, did y'all eat my bag of chips from last night? And there are 2 pointy sticks that come through the bag, and the next we see, they are sticking out of his eyeballs. So down number 1. Okay. The next one, he is in the bathroom, using the bathroom, he's peeing, and he's relaxing as he does so, and he gets his throat slit. Yeah. Down number 2. The other one, he is in the fridge. He has his sunglasses on. He's going to take a bite of this slice of pizza. And we see a necklace come through. And it's up here, kind of in the middle of his face where his mouth is. And she slices through his entire face. Yeah, down number 3. The next we see is her bathing in their blood. They are skinned on the floor, and she has on that man's sunglasses and takes a deep dive into that tub. I absolutely love this. The artwork is absolutely fantastic. Again, this is definitely the same artist who did Plastic, and it's such a fun story with this character, and it's so different really from a lot of the things that I'm reading, because this person, Rennie, is very unapologetically herself, even though she is trying to change. She did say that she wanted to change. She didn't want to be the same way, and she said it to Sophie as well. She did not want to be the same way when she got to the school, and she has been trying to change since she's been at the school. However, people keep testing her gangster really bad, and she's just like, you know what? We're not doing this right now, okay? And honestly, I applaud her efforts in trying to change herself. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, especially when you are protecting your friends. And her thing is, she is a girl's girl at the end of the day. Because, again, when she wanted to kill that girl for making fun of her friends, even though Sophie wasn't her and Sophie weren't that close at the time, but they were getting closer. And she was like, okay, cool, I got you, bro. But then she saw her being attacked by it, she was like, nope, we're not having this. So very anti-misogynistic, very anti-sexist. She is not playing with these folks. So I'm loving it. I'm loving this story. I'm loving her, this character. She does definitely remind me of that story of Elizabeth Bathory or Elizabeth Bathory. So, craziness. I love it so much. Speaking of which, if you have not checked out Ghastly Gospels podcast, please do so. The fucking episodes are amazing. Make sure you get the book if you haven't gotten the book. And that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.